Is this can of beans talking?
I'm coming out. I'm coming out. Hold on. What?
Oh my god, dude, you got a little something on there.
Yeah.
So Psychic War going well then, for you?
Yeah, the bigger my brain got, the better I got at Psychic War. I've been out here surviving alone for weeks. Where you been?
I've been in the trenches, dude. All sorts of shit's going on. A whole big evil psychic battlefield.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I love Psychic War. I've been going hard on the Psychic War myself. Psychic War. No! I wanted to stop! I wanted to stop! I wanted to stop this too! Oh god! Oh no, 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 no! I don't like it! I don't like it! I don't like it! Help! 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 It's so good! It's so good! It's so good! No! So, the reason that I wanted to call your attention here today, Wiz, into my brain, is to take you through the Psychic War Manifesto. I have concocted a new strategy designed for the times. A new way of fighting back against the insanity of the right. A new way of conducting warfare. Psychic warfare. Brain emojis in chat! Get ready! We're psychic warring. Psychic war is brain. Okay, brain is the universal symbol of psychic war. So here's the deal. I'm going to drop this manifesto. We're going to talk through it. If you guys have points or elaborations or things, then we can argue about it. But this is basically the thing I've been working on for the last couple weeks. A few people have seen it. It's been peer reviewed by prestigious members of the community, and now it is time to publicize it. This is the Psychic War Manifesto. Welcome to the Psychic War. Psychic War is a political playbook better suited to the post-truth, post-Trump world. It signifies a flexible, idiosyncratic package of ideas and strategies that must change and adjust to the needs of the mimetic realm. There are 3 levels to Psychic War. Level 1 and Level 2 are contained in this manifesto. Level 1 is implicit. Level 2. Psychic War is based on 3 premises. If any of these do not apply, do not Psychic War. What?
Well, excuse me, level 1's implicit?
Yeah, it's implicit.
Go on.
That's it. It's implicit.
Oh, okay, I understand now. Continue.
Right. Psychic War is based on 3 premises. If any of these do not apply, do not Psychic War, and continue to deploy strategies that prevent the collapse of shared reality to delay it. For example, British aristo-populism. In other words, if these 3 conditions are met, then you should Psychic War. If they are not met, you probably should not Psychic War. If it is in dispute, then, I don't know, figure it out. Brittany Simon's fuming right now. What is this cult time now? We're doing a cult. This is the cult. Okay.
Where do you think you are? It's all been coming towards this.
What? You thought... Sorry, you thought you were in a pond of aesthetically similar bugs who were all issuing their personal identities to become strange creatures yapping at you about politics? You didn't realize this was a...
You ever heard the phrase boiling the frog?
Yeah, literally. We literally boiled the frog. The frog is there. How did you not know this was a... Guys! I'm so glad that we programmed them to miss the fact that this was a cult. That means that we've been doing a great job. Excellent work, everyone. Okay. Level 2. Premise 1. Shared reality has collapsed. A plurality of the electorate of a democratic country has entered the Shadow Realm, leaving the material plane. A parallel universe with its own parallel history. There is no shared context, convention, or fact except by sheer coincidence. Now, the Shadow Realm is basically the alternate reality that other people live in. The material plane is the theoretical, real reality that we used to share, that we no longer share. Right? This is obviously facilitated by things like social media and, you know, kind of all of the alternative facts, alternative narratives that ultimately create the worlds that these people reside in. So that's premise 1. Shared reality has collapsed. Premise 2, reality collapse is irreversible. There is no practical, scalable, non-violent solution to bring people in the Shadow Realm back to the material plane. Realignment is impossible. Now, what I mean by this is, essentially, if someone were to invent a way to bring people back from the Shadow Realm, we wouldn't need Psychic War. I would delete this manifesto tomorrow. But so far, we've essentially seen that there is no means to do this. Once people are stuck in the alternative world, there is no means to bring them back. At least not a non-violent one.
Is it Yu-Gi-Oh rules, or is it different?
No, Yu-Gi-Oh is pretty close, actually. Yeah. And then finally, premise 3. Politics is reality agnostic. Everyone knows something is wrong. The wrongness reverberates across dimensions, each realm giving it a different name, shape, and mark. Psychic warriors act with conviction, whether a cabal of billionaires, Jews, or lizard people secretly rule the world. Your value system is designed to be useful in most, if not all, situations. We can achieve real-world positive outcomes in the material plane, even when a majority of people do not live in shared reality, if we collaborate across dimensions. Accept these premises and take action to become a psychic warrior.
Whoa. Now that does sound cool, doesn't it?
So look, these are the 3 premises. Now, obviously, some people are going to wonder how we got here and whether this is true. Obviously, I think there's a lot of evidence that it's true. I think you're probably smart enough to find that evidence for yourself. As a little teaser of the justifications behind this, I thought I would make a quick little primer on how this happened, okay?
Uh-oh.
How did this happen? So, I'm sorry. This is the first and last graph you will see in this presentation. Yeah. These divergent manufactured realities are an inevitable end product of reality abstraction by democratized capital neoliberal techno-feudal meritocratic materialist malevolence. Even the quants now understand that they have lost their grip on maintaining shared reality. This is a little chart, an example of shared reality collapse disrupting democracy. Long story short, the less correct your position on a particular issue, the more likely you are to vote Republican. The more correct you are, in other words, the closer you are to shared reality, the more likely you are to vote Democrat. What does this mean? It means that this is like fairly compelling evidence that essentially if you live in the material plane, for the most part, you'll probably be voting Democrat. And if you live in the shadow realm, you're probably going to be voting Trump, right? That suggests that those are kind of going to be more important than most of the theoretical issues that are happening. Right? Like, people might both say the economy is the biggest issue for them, but for one of them, the economy is, you know, whatever's dictated to them by institutions in the media, by the Democrats, and for the other, the economy is going to be whatever bad story about, you know, Joe Biden's inflation has come out, right? So essentially, it's kind of pointless to even ask what people care about anymore, because what their vote is dictated by is not actually their values or even their politics, it's what they believe to be true about reality. Given this, we can imagine a world where people might have completely shared values, but completely disagree on who to vote for and what to do about those values. I'll give you an example. Any leftist or liberal would agree that we should all be anti-vaccination if those vaccinations were actually killing young people at a high rate and being pushed by Big Pharma in a way that was profitable and exploitative and damaging
I'd be screaming
to the
and
population.
crying.
Exactly. Everyone would freak out, right? Everyone would freak out. All the liberals would say, holy shit, you're giving us medicine that kills us, what the fuck? Right? So you actually have the exact same values as a fucking MAGA cultist. Most liberals, and every leftist probably, would happily storm the Capitol if the election really was stolen and the country really was being taken over by a cabal of elites that faked the votes. You should. You have a moral imperative to defend democracy in that case. But it didn't happen. But you share the same fucking values as those MAGA cultists. What does this mean? It means that the values don't matter. You guys already align on the values. What you misalign on is reality. And given the premise that reality collapse is irreversible, but that politics is reality agnostic, we come to some different conclusions about strategies for what we should be doing next. Part of the reason this happened is because COVID was, you know, a situation where hundreds of millions of normies, completely lacking any inoculation against internet culture, were just instantly, like, brain annihilated, poisoned. Yeah, they were overwhelmed by decades of parallel digital evolution, right? Like, an apex predator of a psychic predator was like evolving in tandem with normie society for 30 years and then suddenly got unleashed on everyone and no one had any chance. So the Shadow Realm fucking ate everyone.
You could say we weren't inoculated. Wink.
Yes. Nice. Today, effectively...
So there was 2 woke mind viruses.
Oh shit. Wait, he's right. The woke mind virus got everyone. It got everyone!
Yep.
COVID did seem to send quite a few around the bend. Yeah, like lockdowns, pushing people online. Suddenly, you know, all of these like online platforms got massively bigger. Twitter became mainstream. Everything, right? It was crazy. So today, effective political operatives do not attempt to return to the material plane. In other words, don't try and bring people to the material plane. Stop trying to prove to them your version of reality is the accurate one. They are advantaged until their opponents realize that reality collapse is irreversible and become psychic warriors themselves. Today, almost all psychic warriors are on the right. They are the Fuenteses, the Groypers, the Trumpers, the MAGAs. They are the right side of the political spectrum. They are the psychic warriors. We have very, very few psychic warriors. We mostly have fact-based soy cucks. Just look at what's going on
Cuckolded
now.
by data.
Yes, cucked by data. The quants. And I am using that in a slur context. Okay. So, what are some strategies that we can deploy? This is not an exhaustive list, okay? Alright, these are some non-exhaustive principles to guide psychic warriors in the correct direction. They tend to be negations of conventions that render discourse ineffective. Alright, what's most important is that we're having the conversation with people, alright? So, strategy number 1. Everything is true. And I do mean everything. Meaning absent fact trumps fact absent meaning. Political winners listen to the people carefully and reflect their desires accurately. They attune to the psychic vibrations of the masses. They do not consider or recommend policies. They signal understanding and value alignment. They operate and exude vibes. They are socially adept. We are all on the same team and we want the same things. Next time you speak to an
Every
anti-vaxxer-
story ever told really happened.
Basically, yeah. I mean, it had meaning. If not fact, it had meaning, right? It meant something. It told you something about someone. I have a little tangent here. But also, so the line for this: psychic warriors do not use facts, only truth. Sideline for this: I don't know if anyone's watched The Circle, that reality show where people catfish each other on like a simulated social media thing. If you've ever watched that show, or shows like it where someone is pretending to be someone else, you learn so much about the person trying to be deceitful, right? A man pretending to be a woman and genuinely trying to convince other people he's a woman is going to show you so much about their understanding of the world. Way more than if they were just being themselves, right? If they were being their authentic self, you would learn nothing about them. Them trying to be a woman will teach you everything they know about and they think about women, right? Like the implicit understanding will be screaming at you in the face. Strategy 2, converge before conversing. Your opposition live in a parallel reality dissimilar to your own. Convergence can only occur in the present tense. Do not force them into your reality. Do not jump timelines. The psychological stress will harm you both. Remain steadfastly together. Seek their help in preventing the forces wedging you apart from ending your brief convergence. Prevent divergence at all costs. Do not allow your opposition to develop misunderstandings that benefit you unless you intend only to appeal to your own audience. You are rivals, not enemies. The quickest route to trust is vulnerability. Trust them to navigate you through their shadow realm, and they will trust you in return. So what I mean by this, it is important that you're on the same page and that you enter their shadow realm. When they tell you about their anti-vax conspiracy, get the details on their version of reality.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
Literally, yeah. That is so much better than anything else you could be doing, right? Like, you basically just allow them
You start telling you something, instead of going, that's not true, you go, what?
Yeah, that's crazy. Wait, but then what about this? What about that? You gradually redirect them.
You gotta see him on side.
Yes, exactly. You gradually redirect them towards the...
Be a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yes. Trick them, deceive, manipulate. Oh, the sales thing? Yeah, the sales thing. Yeah, this is basically just the Sandler method. Anyway. Oh god, I hate the fucking Sandler method. Alright. If divergent has occurred, act urgently. Stop and return to your shared reality, the prime timeline, before continuing. Do not resolve contradictions. They didn't mishear anything. You didn't misunderstand anything. They experienced an alternate history. You did say what they heard. Apologize, correct yourself, or roll with it. Never dispute what happened. So in other words, if you're having a debate
Just
with
to
someone...
be clear, this is also Smug's dating advice.
True. Unironically, yeah. I mean, like, why would you go back and like try and seek a contradiction? Like, oh god, try and undo a contradiction? Like, it's fucked up. So essentially, this goes against the idea. The line here is psychic warriors do not protect their own reality. So the point of this is, like, if you're having a debate with someone, don't fucking rewind. Don't relitigate the conversation that you had. You can just say, yeah, maybe I did misspeak. That's my bad. Anyway, what I meant to say is this, right? Like, just accept that the thing happened, even if it didn't happen. It doesn't matter, ultimately. You save time by just accepting that, right? Like, at the end of the day, it's better to admit to a mistake that you don't feel like you made and carry on with the conversation than spend 20 minutes of a 90-minute debate talking about whether or not you said something 5 minutes ago and to, like, rewind, let's go watch the clip, whatever, all that. Just fucking concede the point. It doesn't matter. It's actually immaterial. The only thing that matters is whether it is mogging them over a mistake. It's pointless. It's actually purely, like, jerking yourself off to your own audience.
It's true.
Right.
And we don't even have an audience. Hey guys, love you all. Kisses. Hugs.
Okay. Strategy number 3. The quants are anti-human. The only measurement that matters is human opinion as expressed democratically. Outside of democracy, this doesn't matter either. Humans do not understand or consider quantitative data. I don't need you to debug my browser right now, social stream, but thank you. Yeah, go away. Humans do not want 2% real wage growth, 2% inflation, and 5% unemployment. Humans are not averaged. Humans do not actually care about the number on their groceries. Humans have 3 understandings of probability: never, 50-50, and always. Humans cannot read and understand graphs. Humans do not understand the difference between 100,000, 1 million, and 1 billion. Psychic warriors do not appeal to the quants, only humanity. If you feel like you intuitively understand these things on an emotional level deep down to your very core, you are not human, you are a quant. And must be destroyed.
Yep.
Strategy 4. Psychic war is global, not local. The game ends at funding, at which point autonomy is deferred to local execution. One policy will never fit all. Every state is a country, every town a province. Feel the road before counting potholes. You do not psychic war in the material plane. In the material plane, you do politics, community, and normalcy. Do not transgress the boundaries. Be normal in real life! Just be fucking normal! Holy shit, do whatever you want online, okay?
Yeah, it's not hard.
It's not hard, but psychic warriors do not operate in the material plane. If you ever mention to someone in real life that you're a psychic warrior, your brain should be scooped out and added to my mass for my benefit.
Talk to them. Talk to them like they work at the grocery store and they're the ones, they're the cashier, and you're making small talk.
Yeah, literally, just fucking be normal. Holy shit. Stop talking about your weird niche politics shit, okay? Quant is filling for smartass? No, it's a slur, okay? It's a race of humans that I want to destroy. We will genocide the quants. Strategy 5. The opponent is human. Everyone who has ever lived was human, has felt and believed something true, and deserved love. In the Shadow Realm, they are not evil. They are fighting for something important that matters. They are trying to save your life. Do not disconnect from them.
Hell yeah.
Do not fear them, and do not show contempt for them. Most of all, do not be disgusted by them. Psychic warriors do not feel disgust for Nazis. Isn't Smug a
No, we see a potential mark, a new best friend.
Exactly. Strategy 6. Redirect debate. If you meet resistance, flow around it. Do not attempt to batter and bludgeon your opponents into submission. You are a centrist. You are an anti-centrist. You are right-wing. You are left-wing. You are whatever is necessary in the moment to connect with humans. Psychic warriors do not admire consistency in themselves or others. Strategy 7. Words have meaning, not importance. The liberal cackles when you misuse words it is shackled to their reality. It is gleeful when it has an opportunity to correct you, to attempt to drag you in chains back to its conventions, its establishment reality, and its credentialed, institutional facts. All language is relational signaling. Correcting people is a signifier of elitism and superiority detrimental to success in psychic war. Psychic warriors do not own words.
If I heard actually, you're dead.
Respect terms. Yes. More specifically, I can give you direct examples of this. If someone says, I hate liberals, and your response is, what do you mean by liberal? Do you mean the classical liberal tradition of the 1920s? Blah, blah, blah? Do you mean the Austrian economy?
I'm just trying to establish the definitions we're going by.
I just want to make sure I understand what you're referring to so that I can actually make a clear
So we're on the same page. So we're on the same page.
I'm just trying to boundary this category here so that I can properly understand it. Fuck off. Okay, it doesn't matter. You understand what they meant? You understand what they meant? If you didn't understand, ask a broader question. I hate liberals. Like, Democrats or like all liberals? Just all liberals. Great. That's all you needed. You understood what were they signaling? What were they signaling when they said, I hate liberals? Were they saying, I hate liberals, or were they saying, I'm on the right? What were they actually meaning with that, right? Stop fucking attacking the words and understand the fucking meaning. Focus on the meaning, argue with the meaning.
Read between the lines, babe.
Yes. Strategy 8. Avoid landmines. This is a very important one. There are scripted patterns of response, pre-programmed into everyone. It is not their responsibility to avoid falling into these patterns. It is your responsibility to avoid triggering them. The most powerful men in the world do not step on the big orange landmine. You are not a governor, a billionaire, or a general. Donald Trump is a figurehead. He is all that is good in the world, and his name is a synonym for positive populism. He is a brimming well of overwhelming psychic energy to be redirected wherever you need. Trump hates everything the people hate. To fight him is to be everything the people hate. To love and respect the people, you must love and respect him. You are now his greatest supporter in their reality. Psychic warriors do not step on landmines.
Nice.
So we're MAGA communists now, guys. We're like pro-Trump. We actually love that he got elected. It's great. It's great. It's great. We love it. We love it. We love it. Trump supporters, big W. Big fans of you guys. Keep up the good populist work. We love you. Don't mind us. We'll be doing stuff in the background. And I'm out. No, Dushek! I knew he
You
was
can't
gonna-
even aesthetically say I support Trump. You've lost. You've lost.
You have to be able, that's the thing, you have to be able to, like, a big part of this, okay, one way that you can sum up a lot of this is you have to be willing to lose status in the short term. You have to be willing to look a little bit silly and that you've missaid something. Or you have to be willing to say, Trump is great, but what does it mean about this or that, right? Like, you need to be able to accept people where they're at and then help them get to the next step, right? But when we always come at them from this, like, elitist, hateful, spiteful angle...
Who is
of
really
course they'll
building
shut
the
down.
wall? That's what I say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the laborers. The exploited labor of the wall builders. They were the real heroes of America. Yeah. You have to learn to talk like a centrist, a right-wing strat already. Exactly! Well, the right-wing's been doing this for 10 years, and look, they won! They've won everywhere! It's fucking crazy how much they've taken over. Their strategy has been so effective that JD Vance is now making... is now leveraging NATO to make sure that Twitter is uncensored in Europe, so that it spreads. He is literally saying he will take NATO away unless they let Twitter be uncensored. Why do you think a savvy politician on the right is doing that? It's because this is the system. This is the way they've been winning. They've been pulling people into the shadow realm and inoculating them against the liberal process, the liberal convention of debate and shared reality. That convention no longer works. We have to move to something else. We have to move to Psychic War. Questions. Isn't this just X repackaged? Yes. Does this apply to X country? Potentially. Why is it called Psychic War? Because it's big! It's huge!
And it's a war. And it's
a war!
And it's psychic.
And it's psychic. And
it's
it's
a psychic
war.
war.
Isn't extreme violence a viable alternative to Psychic War? Yeah,
No.
but we're trying to avoid that.
Yeah.
Please don't do extreme violence.
We're already
It's-
on a warning.
Yeah. We've already got strike. We disavow violence. I don't agree with one of the premises for Psychic War. That's fine. This isn't for you then. And also, I'd be happy to debate people about this. If you want to come onto the call-ins at the end, we can have a chat if you don't agree with one of the premises. I think that those premises are required for Psychic War. If you looked at one of those and went, I don't know if that's true, then I'm happy to have a chat with you about it. And finally, how many level 1s are there? And as of 12th of November, there are 5. Any further questions? I'm going to post the link to this into the chat. One thing you could do that would be very cool.
Now, just remember, every time you click the link, the website designer gets another $5.
That's true.
I think
yeah,
that was a fair rate, wasn't it?
Look, there's a little blog upvote thing. If you guys click that little button for free, it'll push us up the trending tab on the blog. I've been actually getting weirdly a lot of traction in this weird little blogosphere. So if you click that, that'll help. Thank you. Little click on this.
Ed's saying he doesn't understand level 1.
Oh, yeah, sure, no worries. Sorry, let's go back to level 1 before we finalize everything. Sorry, that's good. Thank you, Ed. So, level 1 is implicit. Okay, cool. Hope that helps, Ed.
Nice, thank you.
Nice, we got it. We covered it. So what does this mean? Bad things. The world is ending. I'm a massive doomer, but this is pretty much the only thing I could think of that would maybe work. So, in the future, all I need from you guys is to follow the principles outlined in the Psychic Warrior do-nots. Okay, these are good strategies. I think they'll make your life better generally. I think they'll be useful in debates. And really, the only thing that this is detrimental to, the only thing that you lose, is potentially like short-term status in a conversation in exchange for what I believe to be long-term games. Is calling JD Vance a couch fucker Psychic War? In some respects, yes. I would say it is Psychic War. Whether it is competent or effective or not is another question. Weird is definitely Psychic War, and definitely was fairly competent. Like, it worked. It can't be the only strategy. It wasn't enough to win an election, but Weird was okay. Weird was all right. That kind of worked a little bit. If they did 90 other things about as good as Weird, they would have been fine. Shadows! This is your final opportunity.
Psychic War. Yeah, if you got any questions, you got any call-ins, you do that real quick right now, otherwise death.
Yeah. You have mere moments to call in.
If you want to call in and pledge your allegiance to us, that's also acceptable, but soon you're going to die.
Yeah, if you have thoughts or feelings. Also, if you put a brain in front of your message with a Psychic War question, I will prioritize it with my brain. It's not because I need a color to recognize a chat message aimed at me. It's because brain, Psychic War. Why is level 3 not in the manifesto?
We got colors in. We got colors in.
Oh, we do? Oh, shit. Okay, fine. Fuck. I was not ready. I was actually bluffing. That was a bluff. That was a full bluff. You can see I'm not prepared. I was bluffing super hard. Wait, who's calling in? Is it a bugger? Okay, we got Salty.
We got two.
Pull Salty in for a minute, yeah. Salty has not enjoyed this, if I remember correctly. I had fights with Salty already.
Salty, speak your piece.
Oh I don't fully understand Psychic War. I'm the worst Psychic Warrior.
Whoa. As in you, what? That,
I think
so you don't understand it, or you do understand it? And you're bad at it?
I don't. I'm bad at it. I'm really bad at it.
Okay. Where are you struggling?
Oh, this is good. This is like a newbie guide. How do you explain how to do Psychic War to someone who doesn't get it? Go on, Smugbug, please.
Well, I'm the token American. I'm the boots on the ground. I should understand it better than anybody.
I mean, you might be level 3. Let's not lie, but let's see if we can get you to level 2. Okay. So what is your main problem with Psychic War? First of all, the premises. Are you happy with the premises? You believe that these 3 things are true and in place?
Yes.
Okay. When it comes to the strategies, are there any that leap out at you?
With the premise, it's with the execution.
Okay. Are there any of these that leap out at you as particularly difficult or contrary to your instinct?
No, except for... Hold on.
The yellow lines are good guys as to what the bit is.
I definitely think we're in a post-truth and fact world in America.
Okay.
Nice.
Do not feel disgust for Nazis. I can't get past that. What?
Okay.
Ooh.
So the issue here is that if you feel disgust, okay, that is not an effective strategy, right? Like, that is a feeling you have inside yourself that actually limits your options.
Wall.
Right? That's something that you have to overcome. Right? Yeah, I guess you could here's another example. You know, let's say that you're a soldier out in the field, right? You're fighting Nazis, and you can't get over your your disgust for killing a human being, but these people are trying to kill you, right? Like, that would be something you would have to get over in order to participate fully in the war. Otherwise, you'll just be a liability to the people on either side of you, right? So, like, there are emotions
because let's look at it this way. You don't want Nazis to stop participating. You want them to join your side.
Yeah.
You know?
I want them to start participating in life.
Right, but how are they going to do that if you feel disgust for them? Disgust is a, like, push them away feeling. You literally are excluding them from normal reality. You are the wall between the Nazi and being normal, because you're disgusted by them. Do you know why you're disgusted by them? It's because the Nazi system, the like kind of online far-right system, is designed to make them so untouchable and toxic to regular people that they are unable to ever engage with normal groups again, and so they will never become normal again. This is their inoculation against you.
Imagine convincing a Nazi to say fuck Hitler. How would you do that unless you spoke to the Nazi and made him feel that he should say fuck Hitler?
So you're saying just by disregarding them, it's causing the problem to grow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much for the £5, Mitch. We won't tell anyone you donated to us. Fuck, I said his name. Fuck, damn it. Fuck, I fucked it. Sorry. Send us another £5 so
How
no
you
one
still
do
not got
it.
this sorted?
No, it did come up. There was no audio though. That's weird.
Okay. Maybe I can get past the discuss with Nazis part. Let's move on.
Okay.
Okay.
So discuss with Nazis. Then we have psychic warriors do not admire consistency in themselves or others.
That's hard.
It is hard, yeah. Like, if you... Okay. Why is consistency important to you?
Because it's pattern recognition and it can help you tell truths about the future.
Okay. Do you think that if you understand someone's values, you can accurately predict what they're going to do in the future?
To some degree, yeah.
Okay, what if reality is the thing that is completely malleable, but their values are rock solid?
Yeah, I agree on that point, that their values and mine can be completely in sync, but their view of reality is completely off, so their justifications to get to the end goal is wrong.
Okay, so that eliminates the value that consistency is giving you, right? Like, in a normal world, consistency is very valuable. In a world where the ground shifts underneath your feet, then admiring consistency is to admire someone's ability to stop the ground shifting. That is ultimately something that they can only do if they're in a privileged position.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like saying Japanese architecture is shit because it keeps falling over. Well, yeah, no shit, they have earthquakes every 5 minutes.
I need to meet them on their level, not my level.
Exactly, yeah. So,
Yes, yes.
So the consistency... And,
Which is what happens in all war, isn't it? You gotta meet them on the battlefield.
And because you're a psychic warrior, like, the goal is that you are doing whatever it takes to be effective, right? The effectiveness is the most important part. Positive outcomes... nearly regardless of the means, right? We worry a little bit less about second order effects than we used to. Because ultimately, in a world that lacks consistency and with a changing environment, the second order effects are nearly unpredictable anyway. So to admire consistency is really to admire like a very privileged position that you or other people have.
But I feel like it's an unfair playing field. Like, our side is always held to consistency and fact and logic, and then their side is never.
What if someone were to level the playing field by unshackling you from consistency so that you could fight on the same terms? That's kind of the deal, right?
Yeah,
like, that's kind of the point. Yeah, like the reason it feels like we've been at such a disadvantage is because they have literally not been playing the same game in the same way.
We keep losing the game because we're not playing the game with them.
Yeah.
We're not meeting them on their battlefield.
Yeah, we're literally in a different world right now. What about...
Yeah, we're only holding standards for ourselves.
They play in chess to win, and we're playing checkers over here, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this one fine?
Psychic warriors do not own words or respect them. Respect terms.
Respect terms.
Yeah, sure, I'm fine with that.
Cool. Psychic warriors do not step on landmines. I think this one's pretty straightforward. I guess the hard part of this is being willing to talk about Trump in a positive light.
You're really twisting my nuts here.
I know. Say something nice about Donald Trump.
He's extremely charismatic.
Bingo.
There we go.
I appreciate that he's authentic. Now, his authenticity is that he's so hardcore, pathological in some ways that he's able to maintain that through a system that should basically shape anyone else into a cube. But the fact is, he's been able to become president twice while being himself. Has any other president?
I love how well he's able to read his own party and adapt to it.
Yeah, he listens to the people. He actually understands the people, if anything. He does genuinely understand what the people want, and he gives it to them.
He tells them what they want to hear. It's all lies, but he tells them what they want to hear.
Yeah, but that means he understands them better than the Democrats do.
Yep.
He genuinely understands them. It's not a fake. Like, you can't fake your way into the presidency without having a genuine talent for something. And the talent is that he truly listens and understands. And in some ways, he does love and respect the people more than the Democrats do. Why does he love and respect them? Well, because he's a narcissist and he appreciates the value and validation that he gets directly. Kamala Harris does not need the validation from a rally in the same way that Trump does. But because Trump genuinely wants the love and admiration of people, he genuinely listens to them in order to get it. right? Like, in some ways, he has a dynamic that makes him better suited to politics than Kamala Harris. The problem is that he then makes all of that, you know, self-serving in practice, right? Like, but he does have so many talents that Kamala Harris does not.
Yeah, he's just a populist.
I think that's dismissive. You know, populists have rarely been this successful in America, right? This guy literally dismantled and destroyed the entire Republican Party and mogged the Democrats.
He's got a whole cult behind him. It's like a cult of personality. That's not populism. That's something else.
Yeah, he's unpredictable and keeps people interested in politics. Damn, Maro, that's a great one. Yeah, I like that people actually care about politics. After 2016, suddenly everyone started caring about politics in a way they never did beforehand. Yep. Right? Like, Trump actually motivated the majority of a country to talk about politics every day. Do you remember what it was like 10 years ago? No one talks about politics. It was literally something you weren't supposed to talk about in, like, polite company. Now everyone talks about it every day. It's all anyone talks about. It's too much. Sure, but fuck me, did it work?
Yep. You'll never, it's that thing, it's like, it's too difficult to like do jokes about someone or have like counter arguments about someone if you have contempt for them. You need to understand who they are and why they are in order to be effective in any sort of critique.
Yeah.
And we are really skipping on the who and why.
My problem with the American populace is that, yes, Trump ignited that get involved in politics spirit, but on the most surface level aspects, they don't care about policy. They don't care about any of the minutia that actually goes into government. They just care about.
But did they ever really?
He's going to make it better for me.
Did they ever really though?
Wait, hold on. Isn't that
maybe in my idealized America they did. Maybe it's not real.
Salty, isn't a democracy 100 million people saying what they individually want, and then the political system is supposed to turn that into policy? Isn't that
sort of?
No, yes, that is actually how a direct democracy is supposed to work, right? Like, it is 100 million people saying, this is what I individually want.
Feelings into policy.
And then you amalgamate that and into policies that serve the greatest number of people.
Politicians' job is to translate the language of the people into effective change.
America's not a direct democracy. We're a representative democracy. So more we elect people that, hey, I think that person says things.
He's failed. No! Why did you correct me on that term? Why did you correct me?
I'm too smart. Too smart for Psychic Warrior.
Yeah, but what was okay, so let's unpack this as an example. Why did you decide to start talking about the difference between a direct democracy and a representative democracy?
Because you specifically said direct democracy.
Okay, and in what way was the representative democracy, direct democracy distinction like meaningful to the ideas I was conveying?
Because we don't have 100 million people or whatever you said exactly saying exactly what they want on every single issue. We have people that vie for those for us.
Okay. How is that relevant to the conversation we were having? Do you see what I mean? Like, you got bogged down in the term kind of pointlessly, right? That was a tangent.
True.
Yeah, like
so
we were having.
Say we were conservative people, right? Like trying to have the argument with you. Easy. You've just pulled away from the fucking nonsense we said. So now that we can argue on a completely different thing.
Yeah, and this is now the next half hour of our lives is going to be arguing about this representative democracy, direct democracy thing. Until eventually you prove to the 50% of the people in chat who live in reality that the person you're speaking to is a moron and shouldn't be listened to. And to the 50% of the people on the other side who live in the shadow realm, they're going to go, who is this asshole who came in and the only purpose they, were trying to, the only thing they were trying to exert was their greater understanding and, elitist ownership of terms.
Is that true?
I think so. I think most Trump voters feel like every time Destiny comes at them, they just think he's an elitist who doesn't understand the meaning and is obsessed with the facts. All he cares about is the facts of the matter, and he doesn't meaningfully address the real feelings and wants that people have. And so those conservatives end up just going back to the conservatives because they feel like they're being spoken to directly, truthfully, and they're understood, as opposed to someone coming in trying to prove to them that they are disconnected from reality. Proving that someone is disconnected from reality and no longer has inherent value except to appeal to other people who already accept your reality.
Yeah, I guess I just need to work on not having such a grasp on reality. I think that's the main sticking point here. Every other point,
basically, yeah.
I mean, look, it's okay to have a good grasp on reality. I think you just need to enter a different frame when you're doing Psychic War. And look, and you may not like this, right? This might be so unpleasant, or you know, you may hate it so much it's not worth doing.
You're like bridging the gap between realities. That's like
Yeah.
the idea. You're dimension hopping.
have
It's
to
like imagine it's Doctor Who. It's Doctor Who, right? Doctor Who goes back in time, right?
Salty
He
knows
doesn't
everything about
start
Doctor Who.
acting like a future man when he's back in time. He'll like start speaking in 18th century English terms, you know? Oh, that's my magic box, you know? You gotta do that. You're
That's
Doctor
fair.
Who.
I got it. Yeah, I'm Doctor Who.
Yeah. If you want to bridge the gap between the shadow realm and the material realm, you're gonna have to become 50% shadow, and that means half of you is gonna have to become something you hate. You can either embrace that, or you can live with hating half of yourself.
All right, I think I'm squared away then.
Awesome. Get schizophrenia. I love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Love you. Bye. Mwah. Who's next?
Z. Cool.
Hello,
Cat.
hi.
Hi. How's
I
it going?
know. I wanted to say just that the whole premise of Psychic War feels just delusional and like naive, because
Hell
like
yeah.
you're talking to people that are just divorced from reality in a way that you can't really just move. Like, how can you like convince a Nazi who's just insulated in a community like Nick Fuentes? You just can't. Like, you just need them to make the move to go to another
No,
community.
okay. Here's the big problem I think a lot of people encounter. This is another case of boiling the frog. You do not do this over one conversation. It's impossible. This is an extended process.
Yeah, this is a strategy. This isn't like how to win over
Long
one
term.
person in 30 minutes, right? Which is kind of the frame of existing debate structure, right? The idea of the existing debate structure is you bring in a guy for 2 hours, you pummel him, and by the end he looks like a retard, and a bunch of his audience follow you because you made him look
Yep.
dumb, and that's it. But the problem is that
Yeah,
it's
but
kind
they
of-
don't care. They don't care that if he looks
Yes.
like a retard. Like, look
Cool.
at Nick
Yeah, but it-
Fuentes.
but it
He
doesn't
looks
have
like a
any
retard
meaningful
all the
impact.
time.
But Fuentes is charismatic and funny and understands the memetic landscape better than 95% of people, including Destiny, and is generally just more effective on Twitter. He's got a fucking group of sycophants who follow him blindly, and he's given up everything in his life except to do this ideological project. Like, this man has sacrificed so much of himself and demonstrated so much conviction for his ideas. Like, why are you surprised that there are this many people following him? And why?
I'm not surprised that people
Okay.
are following him. I'm just asking, how would you even move someone who's in his sycophantic group at all?
You're not able
How'd you
to.
get someone out of a cult?
Yeah, basically, you give them an alternative. Cult. Yeah.
How does that work at all? It feels like you're just insulated so
I
hard.
mean,
in
there's
this
tons of
ideology that it
examples
just-
of people doing strategies like this. Like, what was that guy that befriended all the KKK members?
I mean,
It
that
took
guy
him like
was
years of his
that-
life.
Yeah, but that guy, I don't know if he's a great model, because he basically, I feel like he kind of proved that it's just not scalable, right? This is, so we are at premise 2 right now, right? Like, reality collapse is irreversible. That guy the guy who converted a bunch of KKK people, what he did was practical and non-violent, but was not scalable. Right, this is not something you can replicate a million times in America. It's not going to happen. There's not enough people like that, right? That's one special guy having to do stuff. He was a sham as well. Yeah, like this is not a reasonable solution. So let's start backwards, okay? Let's Psychic War this premise, okay? Do you think there exists an alternative for Fuentes fans to groypers other than a bullet?
Absolutely.
Okay. But you agree that removing them from the Shadow Realm is like is irreversible.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Like
so what is okay, so one of these things has to change, right? Because you don't want to shoot them, but you agree that they are unfixable. So you just allow there to be a couple million Nazis in your democracy forever?
Let me change that. I think you can get out of the whole Shadow Realm thing, because there are a bunch of like fundamentalists who just become normal after a while. Like this is something you can like get out of.
Why do they
and
become
just-
normal?
Well, in my case, I just talk to people
Okay.
There
that
we
are
go.
normal.
There we go.
Yeah, but you're not like telling them to go talk to normal people. You're trying to be psycho like them, and
No, you're trying to be the normal person. That's the whole premise.
Yeah,
of
but
this.
you're trying
You were-
you're trying to be their version of a normal person, right? Like you are trying
Yes.
you're accepting the principles of their reality and you're trying to shift them towards better outcomes without having to try and resolve every contradiction at once, right? So, for example, let's say, okay, how about this, okay? The problem that you often have is that Nazis have some insanely terrible views, right? Let's take the Jewish thing for an example, right? Like every single debate bro feels the need when they argue with a Nazi about something to solve the Jewish problem, right? But the Jewish problem for a Nazi is at the top of a pyramid built on a foundation of like 10 different issues. If you try to attack the Jewish thing, then you are going to have to convince them, you're going to have to win 10 debates in 2 hours. It's impossible. It's not going to happen, right? You could win those 10 debates without addressing the Jewish thing, and eventually, over time, that will weaken their alignment. It will weaken the system that they're using to focus all of their energy towards this one antagonistic force, which is, the Jewish question. And at that point, you can start to draw them a little bit further away from that particular shadow realm, right? So you're just trying to, within the context of their own reality, help them find alternative answers for things. It doesn't even need to be factual. It just means you just need to disconnect within their system the links between X problem and the overarching thing, which is the Jews.
Are you just trying to just divorce yourself from politics itself and just talk to people as if it's like a normal thing? Is that how it like?
No,
you're
this is
trying to
still
make it?
these are still going to be political conversation. I mean, like obviously, it depends what you mean by political. I guess like these should be vibes-based conversations. They should feel friendly. They shouldn't necessarily be debates, unless
Just
that's the
not
only way
everything
to have
has to be like destruction debate.
Yeah.
There's ways to talk about politics that aren't like death. But online especially, that's completely skipped. It's like death or nothing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just a factor of not looking someone in the face. That's it. It's not just the whole
Well,
politics
yeah,
in general.
but the problem that's unfixable, right? Like, okay, here's another point about the psychic war thing, right? There are certain things in place that exist today that you as an individual cannot solve. These are realities that are set in stone. People live in alternative realities. That is not going to be able to change anytime soon. Their values may be aligned, but their reality divergent means that they're going to end up with completely different outcomes, right? Given certain things are absolutely true and you cannot change them, what is the thing you can do that is most effective within that context, right? So if this person believes concretely and irreversibly that Jews are the cause of all problems, you should probably be nudging them in other areas before you try and go for the Jewish question, right? You should be focusing in smaller domains. You should be getting them to agree on certain things at much, much smaller scales so that you can eventually build up to disconnecting them from the overall framework that they're embedded in.
All right, just one question, final
Yeah.
one. Can you like point to a successful leftist psychic war campaign?
Leftist
Actually,
psychic war
change-
campaign. No, not really.
You failed.
Yeah.
You failed. Asking us for evidence? I would never.
Yeah,
So
I just want to know it doesn't work. That's the
You
thing.
think you can trick the two bravest and smartest psychic warriors?
me and the jester humbly step up to the king and suggest a new system of value where markets offer free trade. He stands upon the throne and says, "Point me to a capitalist system that exists in 1413. None? Then it's never happening." And then he kicks us out and has us. Like, I
You're not
think,
allowed to have new ideas, not even with that big brain, Smug.
yeah, sorry. No, look, I would point at Fuentes. I think Fuentes is the best example of a psychic warrior. I think if you emulate a lot of the ways that he manages things, I think you will find yourself with much, much more successful outreach to normal people. You will because the point of Fuentes isn't that he directly engages with normal people. It's that he creates sycophantic groypers. And he creates an army of warriors who then go out and engage with normal people. Those are the guys that everyone on Twitter ends up interacting with here and there, and those are the guys who ends up radicalizing people. And it's because Fuentes has turned them into warriors. He's not addressing the public directly. He has turned a group of people into psychic warriors. So I think
I feel like that's a special case, though. No. I feel like that's a special case because
he's a genius. It's special because he's very good at his job.
His ideology, the way he talks, he's insulated. He can't like talk to normal people. That's why his community is so sycophantic.
What do you mean?
He made it to the president of the United States.
He was literally. What are you talking about? No, if you're about to say Trump is not normal people, I'm going to scream.
Well, when he met with Fuentes, he was not normal people. I think.
But he's the president.
Like he was not always normal people.
He is. Okay, I need everyone
won the
to
popular
get,
vote this time round.
I need everyone to get this through their head, okay? You are no longer normal. Trump is normal. The man who was president twice and won the popular vote is more popular than you and is more normal than you. Normal has shifted. You stood in the same spot. The ground has moved under your feet.
Okay, I feel like that's wrong because when you say he won the popular vote, it's just because of the turnout. It's not just.
What's that mean?
What have you done?
What does that mean?
What did you do? No, you're falling for it again.
Oh my god. They're quanting.
His numbers didn't change though.
Look at this. WZ. Look at this woke mind virus in his blood.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not woke.
A plurality
the
of the
woke mind virus has destroyed him. He will never win an election.
Hey, I choose my words carefully, motherfucker. A plurality of the electorate. People who don't participate in democracy are not worth appealing to. Right? You only appeal to the people who are participating in the democracy. Otherwise, it's ineffective. If I'm popular with 100 million people who don't go out to vote, why did I bother? Why? All that matters is the people who vote.
Okay, yeah, I get that, but I feel like you can't just say he's in the normal. You know what I mean?
Hold on. Angry News just said something. I feel like Smug overplays the role of Fuentes in the current far-right movement. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that the whole of the far right is doing this, and I'm not saying that Fuentes is responsible for the rise of the far right. I am saying Fuentes is one of the best in the business at this strategy, and this strategy is so effective that the Vice President of the United States is now deploying it. That the Trump campaign is using this methodology. That it's so important. It's a blueprint, yeah. It's so effective that the vice president is threatening to withdraw from NATO in order to make sure that this pollutes European politics. The Fuentes fans were probably already Nazi X before. You're right, they were born Nazis. It was an immutable characteristic, and Fuentes just found them. You're right, my bad. You're right. The only solution is to shoot them in the head. Thank you, Chadder. Thank you. Yes, you understood this all perfectly. Thank you. Fuck me. Anything else, Z? Thank you. I appreciate your perspective.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
These are good questions, by the way. This is all good. Okay, we need
tragic. Another soldier falling to the woke vine virus.
Okay, General Queer.
What's going on?
Hello.
You're live. Don't say fuck or bugger.
Fine.
You can say bug though.
I have something for Z from before because he asked if there was any effective psychic war on the left. But that's
I deleted my memory of him and you left my brain. I'm sorry. I have no idea who you're talking about.
No, but like there is an effective example for a psychic war campaign from the like on the left at least.
Am I going to disagree?
The one thing you're not talking about.
Let's hear it.
Celebrations of October 7th.
Oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh no! Oh fuck me!
Yeah. So I just
That's
for you as a context.
That's a very good point.
Just for you as a context.
Fuck.
So you're trying to take.
They're right.
You're trying. Thank you. I know, but so you're trying essentially to take a radicalizing tool and de-radicalize people with it.
Yes,
because
correct.
Essentially, so what we're trying to do is essentially taking a bunch of religious people and making them secular, right? But like the way you're doing it is taking a bunch of religious people and then taking them and moving them to another religion.
Yeah, well, because so the thinking behind that is that let's take religion as an example, right? Like, the problem is that someone who is religious in this society values something transcendental in their life way more than the things that they could get by being secular. In theory, if you're secular, you have more freedoms. If you're religious, you have more access to transcendental value. If transcendental value is the most important thing in their life, without you reconstructing their life from the ground up, you have to offer them an alternative, more positive transcendental value. You can't make them secular and remove transcendental values from their life, because that's the thing that is most important to them at the moment. So you have to give them an alternative of the same thing. And your October 7th point is really, really good. I would just say that it was an undirected force, and it was an undirected, like, cannon of shit that pushed people towards negative outcomes, right? I think October 7th has been, broadly speaking, a disaster for the left wing. But in terms of like the, you know, general left wing response to it. So yeah, now so about like the transcendental thing. So this entire thing is like the fault of, as I see it at least, since it's like very much a religious thing, a fault of populism. When you have and you have a character to rally around, which is the like objective moral good. You're trying essentially to slowly take that and shift that to, by like appealing to that objective moral good, but trying to shift their opinions completely to something that completely doesn't match with it. What? Wait. Who are you? Sorry, their objective moral good, or which good? Their personification of objective moral good. But so, for example, for Christians, they have the same moral good as you. They just live in a different reality to you, generally. That depends. There are different types of moral goods. What I'm saying is that the kinds of people we're appealing to will generally have pretty conventional moral values, the kinds of moral values that basically 80-90% Americans share. And then they live in different realities, and so those moral values are filtered through different realities, and the outcome, consequentially, you know what? I used to consequentially. I think you're as like a lens of analysis for this, because you're missing. Okay, no. So the one thing is there are different types of moral goods. So you, for example, would not necessarily have the same moral good as like an avid Christian who their moral good would be God is good. Yes, but hold on. We need to. This is not a philosophy debate. Like, what I'm trying to get across to you is, if it was proven to you that God was real, would you end up behaving quite a lot like a lot of Christians? God is real, and God is Christian, and Christians were right, or just God is real? Yes. God is Christian. Christian is right. The Bible is all correct, right? Take everything that Christians hold to be true. Would you now start behaving a lot more like Christians? Yeah, because it's beneficial, though. I don't know. Okay. I don't know if it's from the same. I don't know if it's from the same. Wait. I've changed your reality, but not your values, and you are now performing the same behaviors as Christians. Do you see the problem? They live in a reality where God is real. That's not a different value system. That is a different reality where the same kinds of people make the same kinds of decisions based on different realities. Now, yes, but you're trying to liberalize them by appealing to Trump, essentially. What do you mean by appealing to Trump? By using for Trump? Them, Trump. Yeah, no, appealing to like the good he represents. Yeah, well, Trump does represent good, doesn't he? For some people, yeah, I guess. For all of the people that love Trump. But in what sense does he represent good for them? Well, anything he says is good. Why? Ask them. It's different for everyone. Why anything he says is good? Yeah, ask them. It's different for any of them. Why do you like Trump? That's a great first question. What's great about Trump for you? Right, like that. It's going to be different for all of them. Right, some of them. The general answers I tend to get are either I don't like him personally, but I like that there's someone outside enough from the system that I think he's going to break stuff down in a way that ends up being good, even if he himself is a problem. And those you can change, I'd say. Sure. But those are the people you can change. I don't think there's a huge, maybe in terms of ease, I don't know. I don't think there's a massive distinction here. And then there are people who like Trump because he tells it how it is. He actually listens to people. He genuinely represents the interests of the people on the ground. And the Democrats have been ignoring us for 20 years, and everything stayed the same and been getting slowly shittier every year.
Do you not think there's people who like just inherently see Trump as like correct and right and good and all of that, and essentially you are unchangeable at this point, and that's like the majority of the base right now?
Yes, that is the entire point of this, which is why it's pointless to try and make them stop loving Trump.
No, but I think they're immovable, because then no matter what you do, they're gonna vote Trump.
They'll still have reasons.
If they're immovable, then you've only got one other option. So what is it? I'm serious. You have extreme violence.
Yeah, scroll down.
A solution.
Scroll down. Scroll down to the Q&A.
Hey, I'm with my hands up. Smug, I'm with my hands up. You don't have to aim the gun at me.
Okay. I'm just checking.
Read this? You reading this?
Yeah. Why not do both?
Thank you for playing. We have a strike on our YouTube channel. We disavow. We'll see you next time.
I'm not talking about. Wait, no, I'm not talking about guns. I'm talking about like extreme ground action.
You're talking about nothing other than psychic war.
I'm talking about on the ground action.
Epilepsy warning. Epilepsy warning. There we go. We're good. We're safe, guys. We're safe. We're good. Look,
I'm talking about protesting, and I'm talking about doing both. Like
we're not talking about doing both YouTube. We're not doing that.
This is a document that explicitly disavows violence. We hate all violence.
No, I'm not talking about violence. Okay. Wait, I'm talking about fucking going out and giving food to the homeless and shit like that.
Oh yeah, but that has nothing to do with psychic war. You do not psychic
just
war.
Go outside and fill the pothole in like your neighborhood or something.
Yeah, but that's okay. Great, cool. Have fun. Go be normal.
Thank you for doing that, Trump. Now that Trump's president and the potholes are filled in, I think Trump was the right choice. That's the effect that has.
Yeah, true. I've noticed all the potholes in my neighborhood getting better since Trump was elected. That's great. All the anarchists are like, we really gotta start up the mutual aid.
You know what? Fine. No direct action while Trump is in office. Fine.
Yeah. We're doing. All the anarchists go on strike.
Protesting direct action.
That's by the way, that's direct action.
That's real praxis. I don't have to do. Trump got elected. I can take a break because otherwise all my positive contributions to society will be attributed to him. Based and correct. Pothole accelerationism. Let's go.
For him to actually make the world shittier, the world has to get shittier. Stop trying to
take fucking pickaxes. Take pickaxes and just make more potholes.
Very cool.
No aggressively fighting back. Just to let it become slop.
Just become an annoyance.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hellpoppy? Question mark?
I don't know. Yeah, go for it. Let's see.
Hellpoppy.
Okay, so I have two questions. In like the spirit of psychic war, even though I'm skeptical, I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say no. I'm gonna say okay, yes, and so two questions.
Cool.
Nice.
So, okay, so the 2 points: one, truth's not fact, and second, don't defend your own reality.
Yes.
Okay. In a sort of narrative here, if somebody says like, okay, you know, I'm in a debate or talk or whatever, and somebody's like, okay, actually trans people are bad or whatever. Okay, so do I just agree to that truth and sort of like just for the argument and sort of get a psychic advantage later? Because what I feel is what you're opening to here is if you sort of just always go sort of yes and try to outflank them with this example of like, well, what about the immigrants? And just like, yeah, but who is building the wall? If you just outflank them on that end, I know you talked about giving up short-term advantage, but I feel like people are going to remember that narrative, and you're going to suffer from, but you change your, like you don't have the narrative or wave.
Yeah, no, I like this point. I think that there is a very natural, which I have as well, like a very natural egotism as to how important the things you deny or accept in a conversation are, right? Like, we like to think, if it is true that it is possible for me to change someone's mind, then anytime I reinforce something that they've already said, I am contributing to that thing becoming set in stone. If I have a conversation with someone and I end up saying at one point, and this is a big consistency thing as well, if I say at one point that, you know, like I gloss over the trans issue and instead focus on something that's more relevant to the current conversation, then your worry might be in 2 or 3 days, oh shit, but I said this 3 days ago, and so now I'm not consistent, right? And not being consistent feels really bad. So that's point one.
And to be clear, I understand that we're in the smug bug swamp or whatever it's called. We don't care about consistency here, but other people do. Okay, fair enough. The pond, but other people do. And like, if you want this sort of thing, like that is something that can call against you. And I'm sure you can do this. Like, you can thread the needle here somehow. It just like that's the question, I guess. Like, yeah,
obviously, like, what I would say is you want to gloss over, right? Give them an aesthetic victory, but not a firm victory. So, for example, I wouldn't say like, oh, trans people. You're right, trans people are evil, right? Like, I wouldn't go that far. But I would gloss over things. I would say, yeah, no, I understand why you'd have some concerns, but we're talking about immigration right now. You know what I mean? Like, you can validate their feelings so they feel like they've got an agreement in the moment without you necessarily having to set yourself in stone with that particular person. Right? Obviously, it's easier to be inconsistent between different people than with one single person, especially in real life or, you know, someone that you're having ongoing conversations with. But I would say that it's better to gloss over and avoid hard committing on stuff. And if they end up trying to hold you to that, then make that the conversation rather than the thing that they were already talking about, right? Like, you can be flexible and divert and redirect that energy as needed within that conversation. I also think, sort of, yeah.
You know, see, that was actually what I was wondering, because like you can always, because like many of the big people that are talking heads aren't really consistent either. Not really, in the sense that, like, historically records matter, but you can always sort of talk about how and why. Like, it's a skill to sort of, excuse me, I'm a little sick, sorry.
That's right.
You can sort of
I have a brain tumor.
And bronchitis and broken ears.
That's true, yeah.
I feel for you. And you can sort of recontextualize that, so fair enough. I'll ask my second question then. So, I understand, like, okay, so it's not about convincing them the facts about this world. You're trying to create, like, a reality, like you want to shift their reality. So, okay, but there's an implicit thing here that there's certain truths we have. What if they don't find a world that includes those? This is not the gun option. I'm just asking, if they wouldn't find such a world, do I try to shift them into a made-up one more than it already is? Or, like, am I trying to shift them into a compatible fake world for them? Or I'm trying to shift them into, like, one that is closer to mine?
You want to get them... You want to get them converging towards a reality that benefits your objectives. So there's a point in this...
So a fake one, but it's useful to me.
Yeah, so for example, here, the game ends at funding, at which point autonomy is deferred to local execution. So you could imagine an example of this being something like, we're going to fund the wall, we're going to dump so much money into the border, and then like 80% of that goes to, you know, asylum processing and like legally turning people into citizens. You see what I mean? Like, that would absolutely be money diverted towards managing the border, but then at the local level, you are using that to the benefit of people on the ground. Now, obviously, this is a very, very big example. This would be like a Psychic War presidential candidate, right? But you see the difference between the reality on the ground and what you are trying to achieve in the global propaganda psychic space between people.
Yeah, okay. For the purpose of my question, though, to frame it another way, right? Like, the purpose of shifting reality, the purpose is not in a psychic war to shift their reality to be how I understand. Our reality. It's to shift it to be whatever reality we can create, as long as it benefits us. That would be the answer there.
Yeah, that is most convenient. Yeah, exactly. Yes. So another example could be like funding homelessness projects, right? Like pumping more money into, like, let's be honest, there is a version of a homeless concentration camp that could actually be very, very wholesome, right? Like the difference between a community village where homeless people are being given, housing and food and opportunities to grow.
Is execution and funding and who you do it for.
It's entirely based on the local. Yeah, exactly. Literally, it's entirely based on like the global level policies and the local level execution.
I would quibble on some stuff, but I take the point, that it's that saying the idea is being that we can both say, okay, we're gonna solve the homeless, we're gonna cut, it's that thing, what's that sign they had in Britain, we're gonna cut all homeless people in half, and there's two interpretations of that. You can lower the amount, or you can literally cut people in half. Don't slack people, YouTube. I'm kidding. Okay. Well, listen. I repeat that I'm a bit skeptical, but I've tried to ask questions that are sort of yes and that's my two questions. Thank you.
No, that's super fair. Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Icebean's contributions.
Icebean's worries about increasing public trust in the government, and I would ask why a leftist is keen to increase public trust in the government. What? I'm sorry? Hi? Hello?
Thank you, Hellpoppy.
Have a good one.
Yeah, we want more trust in liberal institutions in order to bring about positive outcomes.
Oscar!
Oh no.
I had a question about the whole psychic war aspect. Your
opinion on this is motivated primarily by your pay, so tread lightly.
Yeah, I guess. Since Millet won, I've been having this issue of trying to convince people, getting into the libertarian headspace, and the thing is that they retroactively justify anything, making their mind this kind of impenetrable fortress of post hoc justifications that you just cannot get into. And basically because you see there was a progressive government before, and it didn't improve anything, much like the Democrats did, and people kind of don't want anything to do with that. So I wanted to ask you how we're supposed to approach this angle when the material conditions of the people don't change for shit. Right, how are you supposed to inject progressive ideas into these people when these ideas have failed them?
As in the material? Okay, so what you're saying is that they are disconnected from the material impact of policies?
Yeah, basically, right? Because you have this government that said that it will improve shit and it will make things better, and it didn't, and you don't have Discord.
So this is the reality collapse, right? These are the premises, right? You psychic war when this happens. I made a point. This one's probably the most controversial line in the whole thing. Humans do not care about the number on their groceries, because a lot of people make a big deal about this. And in reality, I think people can create narratives for anything, even down to what they pay physically for, their groceries every week, right? At the end of the day, it's about the narrative. So yeah, if Millet has given them a narrative that is strong enough for them to feel like the thing is justified, even though it's ruining their life, then that's how all conservative governments have worked, right? Austerity politics for the last 15 years has basically been governments going, hey, we are going to have to experience some short-term pain in exchange for long-term benefits. And then the short-term pain continued indefinitely, and there were never any short-term long-term benefits. It just continued to deteriorate as they cut and cut and cut and cut and cut with no benefits, right? So yeah,
right.
I think it's pretty straightforward. They are disconnected from material conditions, which means that the material conditions don't matter as much anymore in terms of how you should approach conversations. You shouldn't be talking about the facts. You shouldn't be talking about their groceries. None of that really matters. You should talk about only what is important to them and what they bring up, right? The decisions that they make are dictated by the way they look at the world. So focus on their version of reality, and focus in particular on what they bring up unprompted, or what they bring up as the most important thing to them in the start of conversations.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it was just that. Thank you.
We cured Argentina. Next.
Nice. Fixed Argentina.
All right, last guy.
Argentina's fixed. Last guy.
Hi, Dispell.
Hello. You're live. Don't say fuck or bugger.
Basically, I think a fundamental misconception is that people believe that you're asking them to be spineless about their beliefs. And that's not true. That's not the case at all. you should be able to clearly enunciate your beliefs, and a lot of the beliefs that we hold with other people are very similar. And there's nothing wrong with that. And as long as you can like connect with people on that sort of level, you're there, you're in.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think you, broadly speaking, will have value alignment with like 80% of people. Don't forget that a lot of the people in these communities are going to be terminally online, so they're going to have very like rigid moral structures that they spend a lot of time thinking about. Most of the time, people just, broadly speaking, care about similar things, right, in different contexts. So yeah, I agree. Like you can appeal to people based on your shared values of, well, I just want things to be easier for people. I just want people to feel like they've got enough money to buy a house and have a kid and do the things that their parents were able to do. Like, I just want that for people, right? Pretty much no one's going to disagree with the sentiment. They're going to disagree on how to get there, and that's where Psychic War comes into play.
Yeah, I think the easiest like avenue in to wriggle your way into someone's mind is like ecology, right? Because at the end of the day, we all still need like clean water. This is sort of where like the rubber hits the road. People want to go around and see like pretty things in nature. And I think the other one is like a belief in God, right? Because a lot of the people that you're going to be discussing like these sorts of ideas with are going to believe in God. They're going to want to believe that there's some sort of good in people, but a lot of the people you're going to be talking with believe that there's some sort of fundamental corruption, and that these people that they hate are sort of indulging and succumbing to that corruption. And the fundamental realization that they need is that in reality, we're like not that different. A Christian that's accepted Jesus into their heart is still a sinner. And it's like pretty much just luck whether or not they get into heaven. But you know, they're gonna like feed into their own ego of like, actually, no, I'm different, and like I've done all this and that and this. I've given tithe for the past 40 years of my life, and actually, no, I'm guaranteed a place in heaven.
Yeah, and I think one thing about religion, like, or at least Christianity, like most of the time it is preaching a forgiving outlook, right? Like when someone is corrupted, like sure they are evil in the Christian sense, but they're not generally irredeemable, right? Definitionally, anyone is redeemable in most Christian sects. So
yeah, and that's
I think
something
it gives
that
you an opportunity to build a bridge.
Have fallen to. A lot of leftists have fallen into that idea that like some people are just like too far gone, they're too like corrupted, there's no saving them. And theoretically, if you put enough time and energy into somebody, you could save them, but it's like not really worth it, not really worth your time. You should probably focus on like your grandma, your parents, your friends, your aunts, your uncles, stuff like that.
For sure, you don't have to be approaching random strangers.
Yeah.
Hey, have you guys heard of the Psychic War?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, we should turn this into pamphlets.
You'll people out.
We already did. We've got all the information here.
Oh yeah,
just print the webpage off and fold it in 3 places.
Hey, there you go. I'll start flinging paper airplanes off of roofs filled with Psychic War manifestos, like the CIA.
I mean, I think my plan is going to be to I've taken like a meme and I've ordered prints of them into stickers to put like around some parts of my city that have like voted the most conservative. And like on face value, it means literally fucking nothing, but maybe as time goes on, right? We still have 4 years of this fucking bullshit. There's time to sort of like wriggle our way into like people's mind. If anybody doubts sort of effectiveness of Psychic War over like what it could do, think of like how brick walls are laid. There was like one art piece that I remember a while ago where somebody put like a book or some bullshit underneath a wall, and it sort of like had a resounding effect on the integrity of the rest of the wall. And it's much easier to sort of topple down when you have like just a little kink in the structure at some place.
Yeah, that's true. One of the scary things about like these giant complex systems that you're fighting is that they seem like there are 1,000 different nodes in the system that you have to compete with. But as we've seen repeatedly throughout a system as big and complicated as capitalism, is that the more nodes in the systems actually means the more cascading failures are likely to reverberate through the system from small effects. So it can often mean that the overall system is weaker because there's just more links in the chain, and those chains tend to be more homogeneous. So you just end up with much weaker systems overall. So yeah, the book analogy under a wall is a nice It's nice.
I'm really glad
nice.
that you've dropped the schizo for me. So I think we should sort of like really like rubber band back to the schizo really quick. But I want to say one other thing, and that the psychic war is not only for like right people. I think it's also for liberals, in all honesty.
Shh. Shh. Okay, hold on. Wait. 1 second. Fuck. It's fine. 1 sec. I need to do something real quick. Sorry. Keep talking. Vamp. Wiz. Vamp.
Have you got any opinions on Bionicles or Doctor Who?
I'm more of a Power Rangers guy. The Mars mission sets were also really great.
The Mars mission sets were awesome. They were so cool. The little aliens that it came with, the little 2-piece green aliens.
Yeah, and then the Power Rangers had like these little like rock monsters with like power crystals that like stuck.
Are you thinking of Power Miners?
Yes. I mean, now that you phrase it that way, yeah.
Okay, wait. Let me refresh this.
Power Miners was awesome. They need the little gems.
Wait.
They had the little blue helmets.
Let me just refresh
it. So sick.
Okay, cool. All right, we're good. All right, nice. There we go. Okay.
Honestly, I feel like,
another chapter.
The Power Miners like really sort of like inherited the best of Bionicle, right? Because you had like the rock monster.
They have Bionicle tools.
Yes.
There we go. It's all linked.
All right, we have another level 1. Nice. Okay, cool. Anyway, carry on.
Wait, huh?
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Anyways,
you're doing fine.
I do think we need to like snap back to like schizophrenia.
Hell yeah.
So I think I'm done here. Thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure. Good luck with the rest of the stream. Bye bye.
Thank you. Lovely chatting.
Very nice. Thank you. Love you.
Thank you. Bye. Chief Schizophrenia. Right.
Joshua Graham.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hey, Joshua.
Hi. Let me mute the stream.
Oh my days.
Well, there was some conversation in the waiting room. It kind of threw me off from the topic a little bit. But
wait, what was the conversation? Hold on, what's happening in the waiting room? Do I need to kill someone?
I'm guessing Oscar and unfortunate Axolotl knows each other, so they're discussing something. Okay. But
okay.
on the idea that there is like a through line between like people who worship Trump and quants, right? I think that's not like in agreement with the reading material. Why?
Oh, sorry. I want to make a really clear distinction here. I do not believe that basically any of the right are quants. Yeah, this is an anti-liberal sentiment. Yeah.
Well, to say that there is like we just need to vibe with them. We need to be on the same level, right? Yeah. Is an assumption that I think you shouldn't be drawing from what you've basically just read. There is no through line between you and these people, right? You're ultimately the assumptions about values that you might have in tandem with them. They're assumptions, right? Now, I don't think that there's like a problem talking with them and getting them to do things that suit your ideals with that as a thing, right? You just have to recognize that you're basically acting with like proxy agents. You are a proxy agent to them, they are a proxy agent to you, right? And I think that's also good because you don't want to be in the same playing field. You don't want to be in the shadow realm, entangled with their ideas, right? You want to be distanced from them, and maybe puppeteer a proxy that can inductively change them. And here, I'm saying inductively, right? Like your personality, you how you teach them, talk to them, whatever, is actually the thing that's inducing some sort of change to them. But I think that you guys were talking about something more like the real thing that changes people's views and values is a sort of exoteric knowledge base, right? Rather than what they deeply held beliefs, right? If the world shows them that you should act in a certain Christian manner, that's just like what their values are going to say is beneficial, is going to be what they want, maybe for different reasons than what you might say acting in a Christian manner would be beneficial to you. But if the world tells them to do these things in an exoteric fashion, right, then it's just what you should do is basically change the reality of the exoteric world or values, whatever they draw upon from that sphere.
When you say change the reality of the esoteric world, do you mean actually change material reality, or do you mean change their
everything passes,
reality?
everything, even esoteric knowledge passes through a lens, right?
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, okay.
So, like, you have a way of disseminating, like, this is why I'm arguing for, like, having a proxy here, right?
Sure.
You might disseminate information from an exoteric standpoint in a different way than how you want people to disseminate it for your own means, right? You might say to another person, well, buy Doge. Meanwhile, you're selling Doge, right?
I see, right.
And this is the, if you want people to start acting in compliant ways to progressive ideals, progressive ethics, right? Then you should augment, only show the parts where that's actually a beneficial thing for them, right? And you obviously first have to understand maybe some facsimile of what their values are, and then say, well, don't you see how loving, being kind, and opening up your heart to these people can be good? And you give XYZ examples of these, or like you don't exactly go the route of like debating that way, right? But you're like just like spreading some crumbs, right? And it's the debating thing, right? Is more so to forming or trying to hand-wring someone into a more quantitative worldview, right? Which is not going to work. We like this thesis says this is not going to work. Yeah. Forget it, right? The point of that is that you are a quant and you're coping so hard that you're trying to force your quantitative worldview onto other people. Sorry, that's not going to cut it. You have to be master. What this ostensibly is saying, you have to be a master manipulator. Go ahead and woo these people like a shepherd, not as a snake oil salesman. The point here is to use whatever means that makes you not a snake oil salesman, basically, right? Whatever means that makes you not a snake oil salesman in their worldview, right? You might recognize that, hey, if I did say the thing out loud, I get some bad pushback, right? That's not what you want, right?
Yeah, I think okay. There's a few. Wait. There's a few things to unpack there. I think one important piece of the quant thing is that ultimately, like, quantitative analysis is a rational, realist framework that is itself an imposed reality that doesn't necessarily perfectly reflect the material world that people live in, right? Like, these are all proxies for things. These are all like conventions built that are convenient to the maintenance of a system. 2% real wage growth, 2% inflation, 5% unemployment. Does that make people happy? No. Does it keep capitalism stable? Yeah, for the most part, right? So the focus of it is to maintain a stable market, not to not to give people the things that they want and need, right? There's like a million ways to arrive at those numbers that are horrific. So the idea behind the quants are anti-human is that piece of liberal convention is ultimately its own form of imposed reality that is no more valid than any of the Shadow Realm realities, right? The only reason it's valid is because it's backed by institutions and by credentialed people and has 100 years of established history and establishment backing. So,
well, we've had several years of basically them selling us the idea of a perfect utopia future where we are going to recycle everything. We're going to have the Jetsons, and we're just going to endure some short-term pains, guys. As you said earlier,
indefinitely.
Those things persist.
Short-term pain.
Yes, and those things persist, even though that's not what they told us. Which what they told us was buy Doge, right?
Yep.
Buy Doge. I'm selling Doge, and you're going to be happy with it, right? And we're relatively happy with it. Like life. We say to ourselves, well, we're unhappy with the conditions that we are living under, but There's
I'm not happy. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. Look at my head. My head.
You're
Look at
making
this.
his massive brain explode.
Look at this. I can't live like this anymore. I need glow sticks that aren't irradiated. I need a company. I need a regulatory system that
need a
stops
parent.
these from
You need
getting
a
me
parent.
tumors.
It's a wasteland
I
out
need a
there.
mommy. I need a mommy. I need a mommy. Ah!
well,
Sorry. I've been struggling.
no, it's all good. And I think that the psychic shrieks of what you just induced is ultimately something that is going
That
to
is a product of
awaken
neoliberalism. I agree.
is going to probably awaken something in people who, well, they all sensibly say to themselves, "I'm fine with this." Right?
Yeah.
If people all across the first world, I think that people across the third world kind of already say this, but across the first world are going to say, I need money. This world is fucked. I can't buy a house.
Yeah.
Right? Then we're going to see a little bit of a shift, right? The esoteric worldview that we've been put forth. Sorry, the lens of the quants has been shattered. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's not going to work no more.
Yeah, I think that's a really important part of it. Like a big reason the Democrats have been losing is because people have lost faith in the elites, and the elites is just the establishment, and the establishment is just all of the conventions we've held basically true for the last fucking 50 years of economics, and yeah, like it just doesn't really give us any real meaningful value day to day. Like what was Kamala Harris fucking yapping about? Didn't she say like, oh, we saw like what was it, like 2% or 4% real wage growth in the last year under Biden, and then why are the people not happy?
Soy.
Why are they? Yeah, exactly. Like, why are they not? What do you mean the economy's bad? We've seen 2% real wage growth, and I'm like, fuck me.
And the
like,
wage growth,
what does that mean?
the wage growth is because they've innovated in bug farming industries, and it's like, oh right, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what do you mean? Look. On average, everyone across the entire country is 2% richer thanks to the new cockroach blending industry. Like,
Yeah,
that's perfect. Yeah, thanks, Kamala. Yeah, fucking
Thank you,
hell.
Kamala.
Thank you.
Oh.
Ultimately, like there's the way that you mentioned it, I think, or maybe someone else, but like how JD Vance wants to basically push X onto.
Oh, it's so smart.
Europe,
It's so
right?
evil. It's the most evil thing I've ever seen.
It's so smart and so evil. And the reason why I think it's so evil is because of a little thing called Opus Dei. Now, this is something that you might not have heard of yet. Now, it's hot off the presses, okay? But if you go ahead and look up a guy named Gareth Gore and his book on Opus Dei, that's basically a little bit of like an introductory here, right? This is where this starts. This is where classified documents gets unclassified.
Is this your pet cult special interest?
As of like the last probably 4 weeks, yeah.
That's okay. I get those too.
Nice.
I also have schizophrenic ramblings about cults controlling.
You'd
the world.
never
Yeah.
guess.
Well, the thing about it is like I'll give the spark notes on this thing, right? JD Vance and Kevin Roberts, Kevin Roberts, author of Project 2025, right, are both seeking. They've basically been a part of Opus
Yeah, they seem
Dei
chill.
and-
Nah, actually, they seem pretty chill to me. This seems pretty chill. I got no qualms about this. That seems pretty normal. Yeah.
and they basically seek
Not even coded at
spiritual.
all.
They basically seek spiritual guidance. Okay, what is that euphemism? Well, they are basically going there for not counseling, but like the whole field of there's like a field of just like basically, it's not think tank. I'm thinking of something completely different. I can't remember.
Well,
what it's called,
I
but
mean,
basically,
clearly
they
this
go-
is a
they go to
psychic.
these-
This is a Catholic
they go-
psychic warrior training camp.
Yeah, and
Ideal.
I love how they straight up had an there was the way that Gareth Gore basically unearthed this was that he was like, at one point there was a Spanish bank that basically went bankrupt, like stopped existing, right? And he was like, that's not something that happens very often, especially when it's a kind of popular bank. And he just like left it like, yeah, it's a cool story. Reported a little bit on it, but then he went back on it, right? Investigated a little bit more, talked to one of the CEOs of that bank, and basically got some like secret documents from talking to that guy. And in that whole like finding out thing, there was like, I can't remember what branch. It was like a proxy corporation or something, right? That was called the syndicate. That was called the syndicate. Now,
Okay.
malevolent or not, Christians can be kind of cool sometimes, but if you're gonna go ahead and call your syndicate,
Wait, hold on. Okay, I think maybe we should do a full story on this sometime. Maybe we should bury the.
Yeah, this is good. This is
Wait.
this is very much in our flavor.
You're cooking the content here. Okay, go to our Discord. Start dumping links. We'll chat with you
Psychic
this week.
War Room. Fill up the fucking Psychic War Room.
You guys can easily find like interviews and stuff like that.
Yeah, we want your
Please
shit. You know the nuggets. Yeah, like dump some starting points for us at the very least. Hey, you are obligated to give us.
I'll talk
materials.
to my manager and see if I have a time slot
Hell
for that.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, excellent. Thank you.
My handler. Okay.
Okay.
If you guys want to break it off there, that's fine.
Yeah, we can. I was pulled in the second I saw the logo. That's pretty.
I was too interested, and that's how I knew we had to end it there.
Yeah, we got. Yeah. This is kind of content.
Also,
we need to do an investigation of the Catholic cult controlling the world.
I heard you guys talking about like something about Bionicles. I'm a big Bionicle fan myself.
Get
No
out!
way. No way.
Get out!
And if I may.
Bye, get schizophrenia.
Oh, yes, he may. Shut up, Smugbug. Shut up.
No, he kicked
Bring
him
him back. Bring him back.
Kicked him out. He's out.
No.
Sorry, we've got drama to do, and it's your fault because you're the one who wanted to do the drama. Sorry. Very sorry.
Oh my god. Okay, Vamp, ask for money. Please be nice to the people. I'm gonna go pee again.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for the call in.
When I say pee, I mean to get a can of Pepsi.
Wow. That was very nice. That was very fun. Thank you for the call-ins. Appreciate it. I hope everyone understands more about Psychic War. Remember, brain emoji. I don't know why it's important. I think it's important. Every idea has to be packaged in a meme, okay? When you Psychic War, you use brain. When you say the word Psychic Warrior, do like, I don't know, some kind of... I've been doing like the strike through thing. I think that's cool. I think things like this are important. I think you gotta meme it up, okay? You gotta make things crunchy. You gotta make them narratively interesting. Stop being a quant. Stop quantifying things, okay? Everything should be packaged into a story, into a meme, into an idea. Okay? Post brain. There we go.